Good evening, all the amazing fitness mom. Well, for the people that don't know me, my name is Malvita. I'm a dietitian, I'm a nutrition coach, natural bodybuilder, professional natural bodybuilder. Of course, that I'm a mom. That is my first 24-hour job, and I'm a wife, proud wife of an amazing helper man, caring man. And I'm so glad and happy to be here sharing the stories, right? Advices with you, moms, because the point is that I wanna inspire you and show you that there is a lot of ways that you can be a fit mom forever, not only a 1 month fitness journey, because I know a lot of you, and that happens to me before, that we do some diets, so that takes for us 6 months or 3 months to lose the weight, and then in 1 month we are over and we start to go back to the old habits and struggling again, putting more weight than the one that we lose. So then you get into this sick and struggling cycle of dieting and coming back again, and then you regret, you feel guilty, and that is horrible, to be your entire life seeking for something that you really wanted and you feel that you're never gonna achieve that. And there is ways, and that's why I'm doing these interviews, to other moms can share their struggling, how they came over that, how they manage the time with kids, motherhood, family, work, and everything that we amazing moms, we gotta do every single day. So how can we be fit but also enjoying life? Because it's not good to be in a fit body but you are struggling, you are feeling not energy, you are craving stuff, you are suffering. I don't want that for you. I want you to get happy in your skin, you get energy, and also you focusing on the amazing love your family love, enjoying life, and not focusing on food and I want to eat that and I'm so hungry. I don't want that for you. So that's why I'm doing this. And let me see if Terry is here. I'm gonna invite her again. I send the invitation. So let's see if, yeah, now we are live. But well, it's a first time, the first time is always kind of like that. Even in the fitness journey, we struggle, we learn, and we are here, we survive.
Yes.
Right?
Can you hear me okay? The connection is okay?
I can. Yes.
Awesome.
Now I can hear. But I was telling the people that I already chat with you, and I'm more exciting to know because it was so good. So please, can you start all over, because it was so interesting about
Yes. Yes.
Tell us about you.
Absolutely. So Malvita, thank you so much for this invitation. I was so excited when we connected because this is, as you know, this is my obsession. So yeah, I make everybody crazy because I talk about this stuff all the time, and trying to understand it myself and learn as much as I can. But yeah, so we were talking about what it's like to be a mom, especially in the very beginning when you're either pregnant or you're trying to get pregnant, or you just had the baby. So in my case, I gained over 80 pounds with my first child when I was 30 years old. And I had a very hard time getting the weight off once she was born. And then I had my second child by the time I was 35. And then, I gained more weight. And with, two children, I have my own business for 17 years. So all of that all together, it's just very, very difficult, even when you know what you're doing. And I did not.
Like the most of the moms, we don't know.
Yes. I mean, most of my time, my days, I considered it a very successful day when everybody was alive at the end of the day. Everybody ate, everybody, everything was okay. I was like, yes, I was successful. And how I was feeling, it didn't matter in that stage.
Exactly. Yeah. So you find yourself overweight, tired, right? With stress, with all, carrying all the taking care of the kids, your career, your business, family, everything. So when you start to realize that, okay, I don't want to, it's time to take care of you, when you start to realize that?
Yeah, so that's a very good question, because I think this happens to almost everybody that I know and that I talk to. So the weight gain, it happens so slowly and so incrementally that I don't know. I mean, I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, I look fine. And it's just so slow and it's so progressive that your body, I guess it gets used to it. Because right now, if I go and I try to pick up 80 pounds, I can feel it. But I gained that over a period of 10 years. And at one point, I went into the hospital because I thought I was having a heart attack. And I spent 2 days in the hospital. They did all the tests. They did everything. They said, there's nothing wrong with you. We can't identify what's going on. But my body was in a panic. And then it happened again. I spent another day in the hospital. I did all the tests, everything. And again, they said, go home. Because there's nothing we can help you with here. But my body was in distress and in a panic. And I remember I was 37 at the time. And I remember having a lot of chest pains, like I don't know how to describe it. If you've never felt your heart hurting, I don't know how to describe that, but I was feeling something like that, like an internal chest pain in my chest, like deep, it wasn't like muscular or I hit myself or anything like that. So I knew something was wrong with me. I was feeling dizzy a lot. I was feeling kind of weak, like in the afternoons I would get kind of like lightheaded and dizzy. I just wasn't myself. So that kind of prompted me to seek help, basically, to find a doctor that can explain to me what is going on.
So this was after your second baby. You already had your 2 kids, right? When this started to happen.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then you were fine with the way that you looked. So what you went to the, by what I mean, the way that you look didn't make you get desperately to, okay, do something? Was the thing that you were feeling weird, this all the stuff that made you go to the doctor and take care of your health?
Yeah, so the way that I looked at that time, for whatever reason, I don't know why, it just wasn't a priority to me. I had, like, my priorities at that time were, you know, a business, 2 kids, and just getting through the day.
Yes.
So the way that I looked, it wasn't my main concern. But the way that I was feeling was very scary. And, you know, changing the way that I look was actually became a byproduct of trying to fix, you know, whatever this heart issue was I was having. I was having some other kind of like cyst in my uterus and ovaries issues. All this stuff has disappeared since I lost all the weight, by the
Yeah.
way.
So how you start your journey into fitness? So what they said, what you had, they discovered what you had?
Nope.
No.
So,
So
no,
you figured it out that was something like because of your overweight?
right. So traditional medicine, traditional doctors, they sent me home, right? So because they looked at my profile, right? So 37 years old, no history of any kind of other issues. You know, they do the traditional things that they do. I had an echocardiogram done. The guy laughed at me. He said, "You're healthy as a horse. Like, go home, right? There's nothing wrong with your heart." But I was feeling not right. I wasn't feeling at all like myself. So I ended up finding a holistic doctor. And that was the most incredible experience I ever had, because my first appointment was 3 hours.
Yes. Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yep. And it's very interesting because she went through not just my existence on this planet of history, but she actually went through my parental health and grandparents' health, and actually all the way into maybe like third or fourth generation of ancestors. And that was just very, very interesting to me, because I never really considered that as part of who I am. And she explained to me at that time that a lot of health issues, a lot of trauma, a lot of psychological and emotional things actually get passed down from like your grandfather and mother. And it really blew my mind. And then when I went through this entire history with her, it gave me such clarity, because she said, well, of course you don't feel well. You're 80 pounds overweight.
Wow. Wow. So when she told you that, you realized that you gotta do something with that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So was there with her that give you the click to start your fitness journey?
Yes. So she actually really fired me up. I understood that the weight gain was not just aesthetic, right? Because in my mind, I was like, you know, whatever. So I gained weight. Okay, fine. You know, I can deal with that. But it was becoming a really serious health issue. So I had to solve that problem. So I ended up actually not knowing what I was doing. I was very much in the dark about macros, fitness, you know, weightlifting. I had never done weightlifting. ever.
Yes.
I ended up getting a Peloton.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my first. I dropped about 40 pounds just with the Peloton. And not really knowing anything about nutrition, I was kind of doing my own thing. I was eating a lot of salads and chicken and things like that. And I just naturally ended up losing 30, 40 pounds on my own the first 2 years.
So took you 2 years to lose this weight.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And what was the most difficult in that moment for you? Like, did you struggle like with the time to being a mother, and then you knew that you gotta have time to be in the Peloton, watch the food? What was the most hard thing that you did?
You know, the hardest part
Mm-hmm.
was realizing that just one 20, actually at that time they didn't have 20-minute classes. They only had 45. I was one of the first original Peloton customers.
Wow.
So they only had 45-minute classes. And the first class I did, I cried. I
Yes.
cried for a month. Every day I got on that bike and I cried. And then, I lost some weight. And then I realized, well, I'm plateauing, right? So my body is getting used to this. So then I started doing 2 classes a day. So I would do one in the morning, one at night. And then I lost a bunch more weight. And then I started kind of figuring it out all by myself, that I have to continuously keep moving, right? So I can't just do 45 minutes in the morning and then sit on the computer all day, or, just walk around my kitchen or whatever it is. I started understanding that, this is really something I have to constantly be doing, and, expending energy. And, the hardest part, I don't know. I mean, I was so happy.
Yes, you were happy when you were seeing the result, right? That you can do a little bit more and a little bit more. But all the moms, they struggle to get into that, like the way that you were crying in the beginning the first time, because I remember the first time that I went to the gym, I cried too. So I thought that was only me, but now you are telling me, and this is something that we can share to others moms, that it's not going to be easy the second day, 1 week. I've been crying, I think, the entire week that I start to go to the gym. I was crying too, because it's something that we never did. We didn't have time for ourselves, always the kids, and then you have this time, and when you do exercise, the hormones, the um, the adrenaline, all the serotonin comes, and it's so much joy that we are not, as a mom, we are not used to have this joy, this hormone, because we have a stress hormone the whole time, the cortisol since we are mom. So having something that we like, wow, a dopamine, like we are having this serotonin, and it's so much joy that we are not used to, that make us cry. And because it's not food, when we eat, we have also the release of serotonin, but we are used to the food, but we are not used to outside the food to have this joy so much, so we get overwhelmed. I didn't know back of the time, but I said, okay, I'm gonna cry. I was crying the same. And then I started, okay, a little bit, and then, yes, we get motivated, because 1 week and the other week you can do a little bit more, not crying, right? And then
Exactly.
so oh my goodness, this is amazing to know that somebody went through the same stuff. And I think this is good to share.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I guess that's how I would encourage people, is that it's going to go away. The crying, the hard feeling of, I have to do this. You don't have to do it. You are lucky that you found something that you can do, that can help you. But another thing that was difficult actually is gaining some of it back. So that ended up happening to me because, I lost 40. I said, nah, that's enough. That's good enough. Right. And I stopped and I went back to normal. Right.
Okay.
So I didn't understand at that time what reverse dieting is. I didn't know what macros were. I didn't know what maintenance I didn't know any of that. So I gained some of it back. And then I actually had a friend that did a WBFF bodybuilding competition when I was 39, so like 2 years later. And I found Michelle McDonald,
Mm-hmm.
and I reached out to her in 2019. And back then, she didn't have the any of the coaching or any of the other coaches or anything like that. So I reached out and I said, I applied, and somehow, I don't know how I got accepted, and I began lifting weights for the first time in my life and counting macros. And it was the most unbelievable experience I ever had, because in the first, I think, 5 months, I lost 30 pounds and I was not hungry
Yes.
ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how what motivated you to get in touch with this person, this coach?
I'm probably a little crazy, and that's why, because in all honesty, I had no business being there. At that time, because I knew nothing. I had done nothing. I didn't know what a squat was. I didn't know what a hip thrust was. I had never done anything. I mean, I was such a beginner that when I look at my videos from 3 years ago, I'm like, wow. I mean, I can't even recognize myself. So even the macro aspect, it was so much to learn. And I was fascinated with the whole thing. I was so fascinated because for the first time in my life, I realized I have control of this. I can control what is happening to my body, right? Because a lot of the years, I mean, the majority of all of my time on this planet, I did not feel in control of my body.
So how much your friend, this WBFF, placed like a role in your life to motivating you maybe to be in shape?
Yeah, so it shows you what's possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
It shows you that it's not just for people that are professional, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's professional bodybuilders, and that's their job. That's what they do. They compete, and that's what their job is. You can take those same principles and apply them to a lifestyle as well without having, those competitions, or without necessarily being a professional. You can change your body, and your health is like most important thing really is the change in health based on weight loss, or not just weight loss, but fat loss specifically. I think it is monumental for women, because the foods that you're eating while you are watching, or while you are planning your macros proactively rather than reactively, actually change. I believe personally, I might be wrong, but I believe that how you eat changes your hormones.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. But do you think that when you reach this coach, you already were with your mindset ready again, like your mindset ready? Because uh, a lot of moms, they want to be healthy and they want to follow these strategies to get healthy, and but a lot of them, they don't succeed. They reach the coaches, they get the plan, an amazing plan, but they can't follow. They can't. So, I'm a neuro-linguistic programmer. So I did this course because I was, in my experience as a dietitian, 15 years of dietitian, I was given the amazing plan, like for these women, specific for them, everything with the hormone balance, to balance their hormone, everything. And then most of them, they quit. They can't do it. So you reach this coach and you follow the plan. That's why you are here. You are being a fit mom, and you are keep 3 years, keep doing it, not quitting. Like, of course, everybody has the ups and downs. That is totally about, you get up and you continue. So I want to know if you already had your mindset ready to follow.
That's a great question. It's actually no. The answer is no.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started, and I followed the plan for about 5 months. I lost a ton of weight.
But what was your motivated to follow 5 months? Because in the beginning, it's hard for somebody that doesn't know what is a macro, how to connect, and then everybody gets overwhelmed. Like, you have your kids, the time you gotta cook for them, you gotta cook, you gotta wait. I am a dietitian, I'm used to, but when you start, a lot of moms says, I don't have time for that. I'd rather be like that to stress. I already have so much stress myself to follow this. This is too much. So how you get over that?
Yeah, so the trick for what I did in the beginning, I cooked the same food for everybody. Right? So the trick with macros is I think a lot of people overcomplicate it. And I did in the beginning, right? So I would use the My Macros app, and I would plan my meals. And then my coach would look, Michelle would look, and she would say, why do you have 16 ingredients in this one meal? Right? That's too complicated. So she said to me, keep it to 4. So I was like, wow, 4, really? I mean, in a sense, you kind of have to educate yourself as to the nutritional value of all the foods and kind of understand all of that. So there's a very big learning curve in figuring out macros. It's just the same like fitness. You're going to cry a little bit, right? So I think people have this expectation where, oh, I'm just going to start and I'm going to just get it all done, right? No, you're going to cry. There's a little bit of struggle, and that's okay. You just have to keep pushing. So I kept doing that. I kept doing that. I kept doing that. Right away, first month, I lost, I think, 8 pounds. The first month,
Wow.
the first month, 8 pounds. That had never happened to me before. And then the second month, boom, another 7 pounds. And I was like, oh my God. So I was on it, right? And then month 5, I completely crashed. Just completely just hit the wall. I binged. I did all the things I said I wasn't going to do. And I was hiding it from my coach. Right? Okay. So I had an issue. And I was hiding it. And all of a sudden I started gaining weight.
Yeah.
So then, you know, she's like, well, are you following the macros? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm following the macros. Like, you're doing the exercises. Oh yeah, I'm doing the exercise. She's like, no, I don't think so, because you are now gaining weight. So obviously I was eating, you know, on the side.
Yeah.
You know, ice cream and cookies and brownies and, you know, whatever.
Yeah, that happens, right? Because you were in a fat loss, like, long journey, a fitness journey. That happens. So that's why we have ups and downs. But how big role this coach plays for you to you know, in your fitness journey, because everybody trying to Google it, how to lose weight and do that, how to count the macros, everything. But she was helping more than that, not only giving you, educating about the macro, giving you the macro. You can find that on Google, how to count macros and, you know, set up your macros or whatever. But she was helping you also with looking at your meals, giving you ideas. So what I see is very important to have a coach, even if you know what you are doing, but have somebody that hold your back. So first you were maybe ashamed to tell her that you were hiding and eating because you were having this craving, that everybody go through that. So then you told the truth.
Right. So this was actually one of the biggest turning points in my life, because what she told me is that I have an eating disorder that I didn't know I had. So, you know, a lot of times I think that this happens to people. You know, obviously you don't always have an awareness of your own blind spots. You know, that's how I call them. I say, you know, you're driving in your machine, your body, and you have your awareness and all these different things. And, you know, all of us, we have blind spots where we don't see that there's something we're crashing into, and we can't progress because we can't see it, right? Our focus is over here or over there or whatever. When you have a coach, they can see you 360 degrees. They can go around you, and they've seen this before, and they can kind of navigate the path for you. And they can say, hey, over there, watch out, you know, you have an eating disorder. And to me, I was like, what? what do you mean? I was in a big shock. Nobody had ever said that to me before. I had no idea. I didn't even know I should go ask for help. So in 2000 and at the end of 2019 is when I realized, like, this is an issue, right? So we have to fix it. So it's just the same way with, you know, body fat is going to cause hormonal imbalances. It's going to make you feel terrible. You might start feeling you have a heart attack. Well, an eating disorder is going to prevent you from achieving your body or your fat loss goals. So fix it, right?
Yeah.
It's not a personal attack. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's something that you just have to go and you have to fix it. So I did that. And I worked on my macros, and I continued to work out the plan and do all the things that I had learned. I did them for another 2 years while figuring out, like, this whole eating issue.
What you did to help yourself with the disorder, the eating disorder?
Yeah, so it's a very interesting eating disorder because it was tied to emotional eating. So what I found out is that I tend to soothe myself with, you know, food, alcohol, you know, whatever.
Yes.
And the awareness of that understanding is that, you know, asking yourself, well, what do I need right now that I'm trying to soothe myself with ice cream? That what is this feeling I need to address? Like, what is this feeling that I'm ignoring or I'm not dealing with, or situation I'm not dealing with that's causing me to suppress and eat ice cream to make myself feel better? So, you know, therapists are really good with helping you or helping people understand, or at the very least bring awareness to that so you can recognize yourself doing it.
So you went to a specialist, a therapist, specialized in eating disorder?
Yes, in emotional eating.
Emotional eating. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what's a therapist, a special therapist in emotional eating, when you figured out that you had that?
I didn't. I
yes.
didn't figure it out.
Yes. So these people the coach told you that you have this disorder, and then you were trying to find what kind of disorder, like, and then yes, then you went to. So the therapist is still helping you.
Yeah, so, you know, when it's like it's almost like substance abuse therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm part of like a group coaching calls. So they're, you know, 3 times a month, and I'll pop in, like, if I'm feeling something coming up, I'll pop in. But it's very interesting because it's very much like AA type of therapy. So, you know, if anybody's familiar with how AA works, it's very similar. It's the suppression of feelings, the disconnection. There's what I've learned is that emotional eating happens because you're so disconnected from your own body, basically. That you're not even able to process what it is that you're feeling, and you're just soothing. And, you know, some people do it with different types of substances, and some people do it with all the substances, right? So, yeah.
Exactly. What you are telling me is very important because, you know, the majority, this is not the moms, but the majority of the people tend to eat emotionally. When you see people overweight, more is here than in than hungry, right? So it's more they are eating their emotions, and this is very important, what you are sharing with us, because moms especially, we get so overwhelmed having the kids and everything. We don't pay attention that we are tired, that all our emotions, we care of our kids emotion and everybody else rather than us. So that's go 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 go, we push, we push, we push. Then we are trying to solve our problems like that, but we forget that everything started here.
Right.
And so that's when you told me that you start with the coach your journey without any mindset. That's why you did it, like with your you did this 5 months with your willpower. But
Yes.
and for some people the willpower lasts 1 week, for other a month. For you was 5 months. But if we can't live our fitness journey in a willpower, because the willpower is gonna end. But if we work this journey with our mindset, with our emotion, heal it, this is gonna last forever, because they transform, instead of a journey like a 5 month goal, this is a lifestyle. That's why I call this Fit Mom Forever, because when you are 1 year, 2 years, 3 years in something that, of course, that you're gonna have up and downs, but you maintain like a balance most of the time. You don't go too fat to fit, too fat to fit, too fat to fit. You go to, yes, you can go a little bit more weight, there are a little bit more fitness, a little bit more weight, but it's not this, up and down. So this is very important what you are sharing, because you are treating here in order to continue being fit and healthy, right?
Absolutely. And you know what else? Here, but also here, right? So the disconnect for me was between my mind and my heart.
Okay.
And that, connecting that and realigning that is actually what's going to keep you from continuing the process. Because I think a lot of people, they look at it as punishment. And that's why we cry in the first month, because it feels like a punishment. It doesn't feel like love. But then
True.
when you actually understand that this is love, and it feels sometimes hard, but if you continue doing it, you're going to have many returns on top of returns for years and years and years. It's like an investment that you're making into your own health. And how you look is just the interest, right? It's just the benefit of the work that you're doing. But it absolutely, for me, the true connection was connecting my mind to my heart, and the whole realignment of understanding that, this is a full body experience, and the embodiment of our machine that we own for our whole life is very important to figure out how to feed it, figure out how to take care of it, figure out how to love it, and it will love you back. But I think absolutely people that find a great coach that gives them the honest truth, I think is essential, because without getting the truth from both from Michelle, and now I'm actually working with Caroline from
Okay.
Michelle's team, is it's there's no substitution for that.
So, but also you are open, right? You are open already to them to be truthful with you, because you gotta be open to hear the truth. Sometimes we don't like it, but it's the truth, right? And sometimes people, they pay the coach for them to just saying, oh no, you can eat this, you can take your wine, you can you can do it, it's okay, or this is then you take this pill or this coffee. They want to hear that, and they get so disappointed when that not happen, and the coach is being truthful, like, no, you are having this problem, this other problem, and the person get mad and frustrated and maybe sad, and then they quit, right? You are open to hear.
Yeah, so that's another thing. I wasn't open at first.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right? I had to work on that. And the best way that I can describe that is trying to, maybe for a lot of people, trying to go on the path of understanding the difference between little you. I have these different words for this stuff, but I call, like, my soul, my being, right?
Mm-hmm.
My essence, little me, and my ego. I separate my ego from little me. And the ego is, yeah, absolutely, the ego is there to protect you and to, make sure you don't get hurt and to call the alarms when something's wrong. But a lot of times, once we become adults, what I found is that the ego is actually sabotaging me a lot,
Mm-hmm.
because I am no longer needing it as much, right? So in the beginning, when a coach gives you their honest opinion and they say, like, you have an eating disorder,
Mm-hmm.
the ego goes, no, I don't. Have that ice cream. You earned it. Have it,
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, wait a minute. No. But you have to start to understand that conversation, I think, that's going on in here, that the ego is trying to keep you in the same place. It doesn't want you to change,
in the
because
in the safe zone, in the comfort zone, right?
exactly. And it's scared that you're going to change and you're not going to need the ego anymore. So, but there's just so much going on that it's confusing, I think, for a lot of people. And when they hear the truth, they say, oh, no, I can't.
Let me ask you something. Do you hear Abraham Hicks?
Yes.
Because yeah, I love it. I'm obsessed with her, and um, your talk is the thing that she talks to Abraham. I love her. I love it a lot, and I have the same opinion. The same thing that she's saying. I'm practicing the same, and it's totally what you are talking. I agree with 100% all of that. Your inner, your yes, your essence, the inner you, they need to be aligned. I think exactly the same, and most of the people they don't know about that.
Yes.
So it's very important to them educate themselves about that, in order that's why you think that way, because you have been educated about the mindset, your aligning your soul with the inner you and that stuff. But what I see, people, they just wanna, okay, give me the magic plan, the magic fitness plan, that is in internet. Everybody say, oh, you're gonna lose weight this with keto diet. Oh my goodness, with intermittent fasting, doing HIIT, doing that. And then they go with these people, these coaches, and then they can't do it. They can't follow. I think it's very important the way that you were doing. You were open maybe this lady that you went first, the one
Michelle?
that, yeah, no, the one that you went first, after the kids, when you were feeling
Oh, the doctor, the holistic doctor.
the
Yeah.
holistic, that she was researching your past. Maybe she also put you some seed that, about the mindset, and I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when she was done asking me all of all of her questions, like, all the things that have happened to me, basically, as a child specifically, because I think that that's when you are most at the mercy of your environment. And a lot of the situations that happen are out of your control, which is where I think the ego gets formed during that period of childhood, where you have a lot of traumatic things happen. The woman said, wow. That was her reaction. And I was like, really? Really? I'm like, why is it wow? She's like, well, you've been through a lot. I said, really? You think so? She's like, well, yeah, as a child, you don't understand that, because you're just, you're just moving on. You're just doing it. It just is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you turn and you look back, and you really understand, like, wow, yeah, I really have been through a lot. And a lot of it was out of my control. And a lot of it was, I mean, I spent 2 years in a refugee camp
Oh
in
my goodness.
Austria.
Wow,
And
yes,
I don't
no.
think about that ever. I don't think about that.
Yeah, but that is in your brain. Like, is
Right.
the traumas are there. You don't think, but they are there, and a lot of the behavior is because of that.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, I like, for me it's very important, like, to the moms be prepared before they trying to follow a diet or plan, to be prepared, to be open their minds, to get cured, like the inner, trying to align in order to follow the goal, the plan. That is, for me, is more than being just, um, with a beautiful body. As you said, it's more than that. Because tell us how you feel now, like how all this journey worth it.
Yeah. So having muscles is the best thing ever. It's so worth it. It is. I'm obsessed. I mean, I literally, like, I will go and I check and see, like, oh wow, look, like I have a deltoid, or I have my one ab is showing.
Yes.
It's so worth it. And I know a lot of people, they have their preconceived notions about why people work out or why people lift weights or whatever. They believe that it's all about, aesthetic, or whatever it is. But the truth is that in order for you to achieve a particular physique that you're looking for, you really have to have all your shit together, right? You have to have your mindset, you have to have your physical stuff in good shape. You have to be very disciplined. You have to be consistent. You have to be mindful in terms of what you're putting in your mouth. You have to be proactive in planning your macros for the day, a week, whatever your timeline is. And you have to follow through, right? So there's so much that goes into this lifestyle that translates into success for you outside of it, that learning these behaviors and these habits really are a sign to how you live your life in other places, right? So
Exactly.
it all translates. It spills into your relationships. You learn how to set boundaries, which I was really bad with. You learn how not to have a codependent kind of relationship. And it's all because you are performing these habits that are showing you a different perspective of the world that you have up to that point only known about. There's so much more out there.
Yes, but you feel more like worthy, like more happy, right?
For sure. For sure.
Because
Oh, yeah.
yeah, because look, I know a lot of mom think this way. Oh, it's too hard, too many things that I gotta learn, that I gotta put in work. If I like, oh my goodness, I'm not gonna. I feel good this way. I'm not gonna, putting so much stress already. But what I'm trying always to show that when you get there, all this process make you grow so much, like inside, mentally grow, that you feel not only that like the muscle is consequences that you feel strong, but you feel so strong inside, like you think that you can achieve whatever you want. Like if you achieve this muscle, you can achieve in the work, the money, achieve the career, being an amazing mom, because that helps also to being a good mom, in everything, as you said, like empowering you. Like that's how I feel. I feel that nobody can stop me, even if I'm not doing very good, maybe financially, or maybe I'm not doing very good, in whatever I'm struggling, but I know that I can get over it. Right?
Exactly. Confidence in your ability to overcome challenges. Yeah. Yep. And I think a lot of people, they have this perception that there's no struggle, right? So you're just gonna do this for 5-6 months, and then you're gonna lose all the weight, and then that's it, it's over. And when they realize, well, there could be setbacks, things happen, life happens, there's birthdays, and there's birthday cakes, and there's injuries, and there's people get sick, you have all these things going on. But when you actually learn how to manage your lifestyle, it doesn't become a stressor. It actually becomes something that you use to anchor yourself to meet all those challenges that happen in your life from a stronger position. So yes, in the beginning, there's a lot to learn. It's stressful. I cried a lot, but I got over all those things, and my habits now are they're helping me to meet the challenges.
Yeah. So, um, can you, for end, to end this live, because it's gonna be almost an hour, and then phew, the end. So, can you give an advice for the moms that they wanna be successful, have a fitness lifestyle, lose weight, feel good? So if you have the most important advice that you can tell them in order to start, how they can start this fitness journey, what is the most important for them to start?
Absolutely. So just start, anywhere really.
Mm-hmm.
Track, maybe just begin tracking your food, so you can understand the nutritional content of what you're actually consuming. Because I think a lot of people have no idea how much they're actually eating. and overeating carbs and fat, under eating protein. Like I was completely clueless. So that was very eye-opening for me to actually assess the situation, right? So what is the reality of what my situation really is? And create some type of an awareness of, am I moving my body? Am I eating enough or too much? And just kind of get a real sense of where you're at, even though it's very uncomfortable. So, for me, taking pictures and looking at my back was very uncomfortable. For many, many years, I
Yes.
avoided it. So if something is triggering you and something just doesn't feel right for you, or it's bothering you, or you have this like stress feeling about it, sit down and look at it, right? I call it taking the boogeyman out of the closet and sitting him down and looking at him.
Yes.
That would be my advice, because that's really the hardest part of all of this, is because you cannot go through this blindly and have a closet full of boogeymen, because they're going to come out when you least expect them, and they're just going to derail you, right? So you're going to keep failing. You're going to keep failing because the closet is full of
Yes.
all of that, right?
So yes, so I think the same. It's very important for people ask for help. The moms ask for help because we think that we can do everything, we don't need, and then we Google it, we can handle it. And sometimes you are so overwhelmed with all the stuff you gotta do that asking for help and a professional the way that you did, you were feeling this, that something was wrong, so you went to a professional, then you went to this coach and they guide you, they told you exactly, okay, now educating you with the macro, with everything that you gotta do, and you were open mind. So it's very good that they gotta, because most of them they don't have, most of the mom they get so stressed and anxiety, panic attack, though, oh my goodness, I don't know what is this, where I start. So I think it's very important to find a professional that they trust, or they feel, just try with a professional. If they don't like it, okay, they change, but try to ask for help to a professional, try to be open and follow that. If it's not working for your lifestyle, because there is different approaches, if it's not working for you, I think they change to another, but always trying to first to educate, but with a, having a coach. I don't know what you think about that.
Oh yeah, having a coach is it's priceless, really. And when people say, well, oh, I can't afford that, like I get that a lot. I hear that people say that to me. They're like, oh, well, you have your own business, you can afford it. I can't afford that. I'm like, really? Well, let's look at how much you spend on Starbucks every day.
There you go.
And let's get rid of Starbucks, and let's see if you still think you can't afford a coach, because the change that's going to give you for your life is a lot more worth it than Starbucks.
Totally. I think the same. Yeah, totally. I think the same. By a lot of moms struggling with their money, with no having a job, they don't know how to start. So that's why you, Terry, are an amazing inspiration. Like, I got blown when I saw your Instagram and I went through your photos and I was reading what you were posting, and I connect so much because of you were saying how you were overweight and your problems, and you have kids, and like every mom we go through hard time, but also sometimes different, that we can a lot of moms that they're gonna see this live, because it's gonna be recorded in my timeline, but they can connect with you. Oh my goodness, I'm struggling the same, and I'm looking at Terry, how she overcome. I can do the same. I can find this coach or the other coach, or keep quit Starbucks, and everything is a motivation. And also the age, I see that how, if you don't mind to tell us, how old are you?
I am 45.
So imagine 45 with that body, with that healthiness, that, you shine. And a lot of moms, they are 30 and they are, in bad health that shows in their body. And if imagine you with the 45, people that the moms get, oh my goodness, I'm 45, I can't lose weight, the hormones, I'm struggling because of the hormones, I'm 45, I'm almost in my premenopause, so I'm not gonna get stressed myself because it's normal, all mom, this kind of talk. And
Oh yeah.
you are proven wrong. You are here looking your best. Can you tell
Yeah.
the 45 moms?
Yeah, no, I can tell you that, oh my goodness, it's not over. And just don't give up on yourself. I worked with JJ, who is actually Michelle's husband. And in 2019, I was quitting. I was giving up. I was failing. I didn't know I had an eating disorder. And I was in Tulum and I was training there because I didn't know how to lift either. So that was a really big help. And he said to me, don't give up on yourself. You can do this. You're very good at it. You have the body, right? You have arms, you have legs.
Yes.
You're lucky, right?
Yes.
You're lucky. You have this ability to do this, and just do it. It just kind of struck me that I am not honoring my own body. And I mean, that's the most sacred thing that we have on this planet. So by ignoring yourself and, staying unhealthy and not giving yourself the proper love that you deserve,
Exactly.
it's never going to go away. Like that pain that you feel inside of you, that's never going to go away because you are ignoring the most important thing.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. I think this is the perfect end, what you are saying right now. I think everybody has to, don't give up of yourself. Don't give up. Love yourself. Yes, and we are the most important thing that we have. I think we can end with that because, wow, that was so powerful. Thank you so much, Terry, for sharing your life. I know sometimes it's hard, to share some stuff, but this is going to help a lot of moms. I'm pretty sure we are living this in the internet for years and forever, and this is going to last forever. What you are saying, this energy that you are sending, your words, your feelings, already.
Thank you.
Already in the universe. Thank you so much, Terry. And I'm going to be in contact with you more. We can do another live talking about maybe educating people about macros or whatever. We can do that.
I love it, Malvita. I'd love it. I'd be very happy to. I really enjoyed our time.
Thank you so much. You are amazing. Amazing.
You too. You as well. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye. Let me see. I don't even know. Yeah, here.